Really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's going to have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets, and we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point, man. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It wouldn't be a
I'm already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard,
Yes.
and the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
Right? But you heard what he said
Yeah.
about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open,
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak, welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
That's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
Who the hell? Yeah, so Mad Dog.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
Just
always love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
Right. All right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about D-pipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 ounces. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. Remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He could just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning end.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. Do you know what this means?
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it. You
So that's
filthy
cool because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Who else in the giveaway? Drawing the winner. My man says we're getting $10 ACR giveaway for this one. All right, guys, we're here. Sorry we're late. Happy 4th of July for our Americans out there. We were debating, like, Sixes told me he was out a little while ago, and I was like, man, do we punt for the holiday, or do we show up and put in the time while everyone else is having barbecue? Shit. Here we are. And I see a bunch of savages in the chat as well. Peanut Flesh, Uncle Ian, Beats, Cyrus, all out there. What's up? Ginger, one of my favorites out there. Rad Dad out there. What's up, guys? Gil coming in from Scotland. He don't care. It's not a Scottish holiday. He's here to get better. What's up, guys? Event Horizon in the house. What is up? So yeah, just gonna be me today. Sixes is out, and it's the 4th of July. We don't have a guest today, so we'll just do this together. BQ, BBQ, Com Bakley. What's up? And figure we'll just do some quizzes and do it like that. I think we'll do it the normal way we always do it, right? We got 22 people out there right now. I'm sure some people will start following in. I think we're going to do it like we always do and have you guys kind of battle it out. And then we'll see what the crew will do. And then we will go from there. So while I'm talking, I'm trying to get this giveaway thing going so we can draw winners. Exclamation point poker coaching.
is going to be the password. Exclamation point poker coaching is in there. Put it in the chat, and I'll have you guys battle out for $5. Either PayPal or ACR, whatever works better for you. Thank you for changing that title, Ian. We were rushing to get started. And that's it. Smeef in the house. What's up, buddy? Fist bumps. Fist bumps. Fist bumps. While we're doing this, is the pokercoaching.com site, owned and operated by the one and only Mr. Jonathan Little. As you can see, there are a variety of awesome coaches that work for the site. We got Assassinado, we got Matt Affleck, we got Jonathan Little, we got Faraz Jaka, Lexi Gavin, this guy right here. Who's this guy? What? We got this guy right here. We got Crazy Sixes out there. A whole slew of coaches. Cash Game, and let's try and not make this go crazy. Come back. Yeah, so a bunch of good content for you. They have tournament content. They have Cash Game content. Exclamation point PC in the chat. And then you can sign up for free, where you get up to 20 quizzes, homeworks, big blind charts for 100 bonds or more. If you sign up for premium, there's over 900 quizzes now. It's too much content that you could possibly consume in a couple of years. There's tons of content here. Homeworks, weekly webinars. Matt Affleck does a webinar on Wednesdays. That is amazing. He does them every single Wednesday. And there are other webinars too that happen every week. But Matt, great coach, great player, and on the side as well. So make sure you get involved with all that. Like usual, I record this one and all of these streams. So if you're enjoying yourself, you can go back and watch all the ones we've done with me and Sixes, all the ones we've done with our esteemed guests. We've had a lot of them. Jesse James, Greg Raymer, Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck again. We had Penny Six last week. We bring you a whole slew of players that we know that are good, that are beating the game from a whole different variety of levels and styles. Cash Game, tournament, what have you. So make sure you tune in to all that. Let's do a Sixes quiz since he's not here. I'd have to dig one up and find one, but that could be fun, Cyrus. I kind of like that idea. I was also going to kind of do, like, there was one day that Sixes did a stream that I missed, and so there's some quizzes in the middle here that we haven't done. I don't want to do any of the brand new ones because, he and I like to do those together, and it gives us more content. So there's that. Yeah, let me find a quiz for us to do while you guys are putting exclamation point poker coaching in the chat. Here's a whole brick of them that we haven't looked at. And I'll find Sixes too. Marina Runner, what's up, buddy? Good morning. Happy 4th of July. All right, how many people do we have in the running? 12 people to compete it out. We're just going to roll twice and pick 2 people. Roll number 1 is going to be Bang Beats. Going for it again. And he's going to be battling out for Bang Mr. Cyrus. Two-Toe Army legends of the game. Gonna battle it out. I know you're both there, so I'm not even gonna bother because you two are reggy regs. Let's pick. Let's pick an interesting one. 10-5 suited. That seems kind of like an interesting one from JL. I think we'll start off there. Beats, Cyrus, I see you. There's Beats. 8-6 off with Evan. We'll do that one next, but I can't have. You're competing. You don't get to pick your shot. It's got to be a surprise. Cyrus fights Beats. Uh-oh. Now you're going to have to get a rematch going there, Cyrus. All right. So this is what we're going to do, guys. For those of you who are new and haven't been here before, this is your chance to be a chat pro. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video. We're going to see the situation. We'll see what you guys are going to do out there. Get in there. Let me know what you're going to do. This is super interactive. No delay. Chance to get better. No judgment. Just trying to, like I said, get better together and improve. And then we'll see what our men of the hour are going to do, Mr. Beats and Mr. Cyrus. And I'll say what I would do. Then we'll see what the coach would do. And we'll go with the scores. Oh, shit. How's that going to work? Because if you guys deviate, which one do we pick? Oh, shit. Let me think about that. I think I might have to log in twice and take the one twice, just in case. Hang on. I found a situation. I think we're good. Which quiz is this? 503? All right, cool. So I'll have it up over here, too. And in case you guys stray from each other, I'll be able to see what both points are. Give me a second. Let me get that prepared. Take 2 seconds to find this quiz. $10-5 suited. All right, mute this tab. All right, cool. I think we are good to go. All right, so we'll play this right now, see what the spot is, and go from there. Ready? Let's do it.
All right, we're finally in the money. We made very, 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 very good use of our stack on the bubble to the point that we got in the money with 900K. Ignore all these stacks besides Scott Seaver here. Everybody else has like 150K. And I remember me, Scott Seaver, and Vanessa Selbst all started the bubble with roughly 300K.
Tough table.
And all ran up our stacks on the bubble to about 900K. The bubble was long, like 4 hours. It was incredibly long. No one went broke for forever. Blinds went up, stacks got shallow. We kept pushing around and pushing around. And like I said, whenever everyone is good, it's tough for anyone to go broke unless there's just like aces against kings. So it worked out for me this time. So we got in the money. Here we are, 900K, which is probably a solid 3 times average stack. It's always good to get in the money with a 3 times average stack because that is when you're going to have the easiest time making a very deep run. So here we are in this hand. Folds around to Scott Seaver, who limps in the small blind. Scott Seaver plays he plays an odd strategy. He does a lot of limping. He does a lot of checking. He does a lot of check raising. He does a lot of mixing it up. He does a lot of rather bizarre plays. And to be fair, they're probably all just incredibly exploitative and very strong against the player pool. And I'm sure he probably knows what perfect GTO is because he's a bit of a genius, and he probably knows how to adjust GTO to take advantage of whatever the player pool does wrong. So anyway, folds around to him. He limps small blind. I have 10-5 suited. Is this bad enough to bluff? Should we check, raise to 16,000, raise to 24,000, or raise to 36,000?
All right, guys, here we go. Tough table, blind versus blind against Scott Seaver, one of my top 3 favorite players. Super good and super difficult to play against. What would you guys do? Cyrus and Ginger taking a flop. Right Dad out there taking a flop. Peanut Fudge taking a flop. Beats, check with the big suited, offsuit, probably raise. Jesse's checking. BQ, going to go with the raise there himself, 24K. Mayor, what's up, buddy? Out there, 24K. Check for Com, 24K for Event. Check for Gil. Check for Poker Joker. Thank you for that resub, Poker Joker. I appreciate you, buddy. 3 months. Pomeface says check, but I feel my small blind play is terrible, so raise could be right, says Pomeface. Bruce is checking. Ian, Scott raising the small line. I'm checking. Scott didn't raise. Scott just limped. Yeah, just to be sure. Beats is checking. I don't see Cyrus. Cyrus is checking. Cool. Everyone's checking. For me, I would normally raise this against like the average player pool, but with this big Scott Seaver specifically, I think I'm checking too. He's going to be really difficult to play against. And I want to see a flop with a suited 10. So I think I'm on team check myself as well. We both check. So let me check here. And I will check here. Let's see what's happening.
I do not think this is bad enough to bluff. But if I am going to bluff, I'm going to make it 36,000. So a relatively large raise size. In this situation, if we make it small, like 16 or 24, he's going to call or raise virtually every time. And I don't want him to call when I have 10-5 suited, right? So if I am going to put more money in the pot than is required, I definitely want to raise to 4 big blinds. That said, you're usually not going to want to raise in this spot when you have suited okay cards. And to be fair, it's a stretch to say that 10-5 suited is okay cards. I think I would prefer to raise slightly weaker, like 9-3 suited. That said, against Scott Seaver, who I think may be just a bit of a calling station in these scenarios, maybe I want to raise to something like 3 or 3.5 big blinds with just a good, strong linear range and forget about raising with bluffs. So just raise primarily for value, which is probably what I would do today if I had to. Anyway, I'm going to check the 10-5 suited in both instances. So it does go limp check. Flop gives me bottom pair. He checks to me. Should we check, bet 10,000, bet 20,000, or bet 30,000?
All right, guys. Interesting spot. Boot, what's up, buddy? Good morning. Happy 4th of July. What are we doing out here now, guys? We pick up a little fur. Scott then checks to us. What are we going to do? Check, bet 10K, bet 20K, just about pot, or bet 30K over pot. Jesse coming in with the 10K, and Ginger still checking. A couple of checks coming in the chat. I see you, I see you. Cyrus, contestant number 1, going 10K. Now the 10K starting to stream in. Mickey up. What's up, buddy? Bakley out there with 10K. BQ out there with 10K. Beats checking. So this is where they go their separate ways. The one you guys are looking at right now will be Cyrus, and then I'll have Beats on this other one over here. So Cyrus 10K, and Beats is checking. 10K for Peanut Fudge, me for 10K. Check. This is where it gets interesting for me. Like 99% of the time, I'm betting here. Against Scott, it gets weird, right? Because you know he's going to be check raisy and sticky. And the fact that we didn't raise pre kind of tells him that we don't have a ton of ace X. Which has me a little worried. I think we're supposed to bet bottom pair for value and for protection. So I think I would be going 10K as well. I think that's where I'm at. Peter says, I felt like I would check, then Scott Seaver was going to bet a lot of turns, and then do I just call turn with 3rd or 4th pair? It's a fair enough comment there, Peanut. And the thing is like, this is about as good as it's going to get, right? Like, 99% of the time, the turn card is going to be an overcard to a 5. And like Peanut was saying, we're just going to be in a weird spot. So Cyrus says bet 10K. Let's see what that does. And I'll click the check one over on the other one for Beats.
Once he checks the flop, I think we can certainly bet small for value and protection. If I bet big, like 30,000, what's going to happen is he's going to mostly call when I'm in bad shape, although he may call with stuff like king, queen, which, you know, is again, it's like I'm crushing king, queen here, right? So I think in this scenario, we need to bet tiny. When we bet tiny, that's probably going to result in him overfolding. And to be fair, even a tiny bet of 10K is only half pot, right? So for that reason, I like a 10K bet. I think 10 and 20 are probably close in terms of equity, but I don't want to be blasting it. Like, say I had to bet 100K, I think that would be absurd. Typically, you're going to find that something like half-ish pot or 2/3 pot is fine enough in these scenarios because most people don't defend often enough. That said, I imagine Seaver probably is. But we can certainly extract value. I do think Seaver will be checking with some 8s, maybe some aces. Some people may make the classic mistake of saying, well, he limped the small blind, he can't have an ace. But that's not true, not if he's good, and he is good. So he can certainly have some aces in his range. That said, I think we still just need to put out a small bet. If he folds, that's fine, right? Because wherever he folds has equity. And if he calls, that's fine too. He does call. Turn is the 9 of diamonds. Should we check? Bet 20,000, bet 40,000, or bet 60,000?
All right, guys, here we go. Hey, Mike, what's up? First time watching? Nice, buddy. Like I said, guys, we do this every Saturday. Usually it's me and my partner, Crazy Sixes, but he's being a patriotic American today, and we're being communists. We're going to be out here hanging with you guys. So, yeah. But make sure you guys tune in every Saturday and on the YouTube channel, Mike, exclamation point YouTube in the chat. You can see every one we've ever did. We've done a bunch of them now. We've done over 40 of these every Saturday. And if you're a premium member, that's okay. Feel free to get in here and chime in. That's what this is for, buddy. All right, cool. So we bet we get called. And now here we are. What are we doing out there, guys? Bruce is checking. BQ is checking. Cyrus is checking now. Peanut Fudge is checking. Jesse's going 20K. 20K, 20K, 20K. So a little bit mixed out there. Still waiting for Beats to chime in. All you guys out there, let me know what you would do. Ian's checking is giving up against an exploitative player Checking is giving up against a split player 20K, he says. Check to Scott, says Ginger. Arena and Gil checking. Checking starting to overtake it. Ooh, Beats going 20K. Interesting, they swapped. They flippy flopped on it. Knockdown out there with the check. Can't call a river if we check. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, Sneef. Yeah, for me, I kind of agree that checking is going to make it really awkward, and we're just going to face a lot of weird river bets and a lot of weird cards come on the turn. Oh. What do I do? I think I would be betting this a lot just to try and get. God, the problem here is like the draws. Some of the draws got there, right? Nine's kind of a bad card. I think I'm checking a 9. There was some other bricky card that didn't put straights and 2 pairs out there. And again, like I think a bet here when we don't raise probably we don't get an 8 to fold. We're value timing ourselves. I think I'm leaning check here, but I definitely think betting is close. Let's find out. Would you change how you're playing because of the players? I mean, absolutely. BQ. I think that if this was a random player, I'm more likely to bet because they're more likely to fold an 8. Whereas I think Seaver's a really good thinking player who puts us on a lot less ace-x when we check the big blind. When we check pre-flop. Then we can call a lot of rivers if we check. Well, I don't want to put a spoiler. I don't want to be a spoiler. But Cyrus is going to check. So let's find out what happens.
So
10 points. Yeah,
when
betting
you
was
check
close.
calls flop, what is that likely?
betting was
Well,
7.
he either has something like king high, which I beat, and I would not mind protection against. But if I bet, he's probably going to fold. Or he has an 8, which I clearly lose to. Or he has an ace, which I clearly lose to. Or he could have a 5. And I'm probably a little bit ahead of the 5s because he may not even play. He'll probably play Jack 5. You know, who am I kidding? I guess we're roughly neutral against the 5s. So, can we value bet again? Well, if I am going to bet, I definitely want to bet small, right? So I think 20,000 is definitely superior to 40 or 60 at this point. Like on the flop, I don't think there's a big difference between 10 and 20. But on the turn, I think there's a huge difference between 20 and 40. That said, in this scenario, I think we just want to check and realize we're going to win at showdown some portion of the time, like 40% of the time. I don't expect to be ahead at this point. If he does bet the river, I think it's conceivable for us to call. But for the most part, we're just going to check there. River is a 5. Okay, that's what we were going for.
Ruh-roh.
And he checks. Should we check, bet 20,000, bet 40,000, or bet 60,000?
This got interesting. Chat with my man. Happy 4th of July, buddy. Thanks for coming in, bud. Good to see you, brother. Cyrus snap 20K out there. Ian going 60 over pot. Ginger going 40. Everybody pouncing. Jesse going 60. Beats going over bet 60K. What? Interesting. All right, so we got Cyrus betting 20 and Beats betting 60. Mickey's going 40. 20K bet the nuts. 40 for calm. 60 for BQ. Smee for 40. Seaver going 60. 20K. 60K. 20K. Everybody betting. Only a couple of 20Ks and a bunch of 40s and a handful of 60s, huh? 40K for neat peanut flush. 20K to get marginal pairs to call. For me, I'm torn. 60K is kind of sexy. Makes it look like a missed flush draw. If he's got an 8, probably never folding. He's got a 9, definitely never folding. We shouldn't have too many 5X in our hand. So I'm kind of conflicted myself between 40 and 60. I actually think the bigger bet looks bluffier. A lot of misdraws in, I agree. Beats doing the overbet here with all his missed flush draws too. I like it. Like, yeah. Say 40 or 60, but I like to pop it. Says Mickey, I kind of do too. I kind of leaning 40 myself. The one thing I'm thinking about is the story that we're telling when we go bet, check, bet. We just have no ace-x, and with 6-7 bet the turn. Yes. It just looks super bluffy. But then again, like, what are our bluffs? Weird spot. Would the flush draw not bet the turn as well? Weird spot. This is a tough one, actually. This river's actually kind of conflicting. Definitely. I think an 8 might, and a 9 might hero call the 60 boot. All right, so damn, I'm conflicted as hell. I know in game I find myself betting closer to 40, maybe even slightly less, like 39, 38, something like that. Something slightly under 40. 6-7 with a spade. Sure, because you blocked the flush draw. I mean, I still think you want to bet. Because you don't have too much ace-x in your range there, Beats, and you want to get value from the 8. Cyrus says 35. All right, so let me go back and look. Cyrus, I believe, said 20, and I know Beats said overbet alert. Yeah. All right, so Cyrus is going to be 20, and Beats is going to be 60. I find myself going like 35 to 38 in game. Let's see what happens. Cyrus bets 20. Bet 60.
Well, clearly we have the
9
best
for
hand
40.
basically every time now. So
60 got
we're going
3
to bet, and
points.
if he raises, we're not going to fold. So that's good.
You like the 40. That's what it is.
So how much should we bet? We're trying to get called here by a 9 or an 8 or an ace. So how much will a 9, an 8, or an ace call?
I think that 60K bet is really
And
interesting at the lower
I
stakes
don't
beats
know.
when you kind of hover.
It's one of these
because
spots where a
people
lot of draws
overcall.
miss. I may
8x
like to
and
just
9x.
check it back on the turn with a lot of the bad gut shots. If I had a flush draw, I'd probably just keep betting. So I probably don't have a whole lot of flush draws. But I do have some of the bad gut shots. Like 7-4. If I had 7-4, I would definitely just check the turn and probably bet big on the river. When I say big, I don't mean humongous. I think 60 is probably just too big. 60 is probably just out of the question. Especially since I am actually trying to get value here. You have to be careful with the idea of I'm going to size it slightly smaller when I'm trying to get value. And slightly smaller when I'm trying to get value because I'm trying to get called by marginal stuff. And slightly bigger when I'm bluffing because I'm going to try to get the marginal stuff to fold. Because that may result in very, very good players figuring you out very quickly. But I think in general 40K here is going to be fine. I think 20K could also be perfectly fine. Because there is certainly a chance that he just folds everything besides an ace to a big bet. But if he is folding everything besides an ace to a 40K bet, he's probably folding way too often. So I like a 40K bet in this scenario. Usually whenever you have effective nut hands, you want to be betting big. And you also want to be betting big with some bluffs. And like I just said, 7-4 and 6-4 are very, very obvious bluffs in my mind that I would probably not bet the turn, that I would love to bet the river. So in this spot, I'm going to bet with all of my 5s and some of the 7-4 and some of the 7-6. And I think some portion of those would be in my range at this point. So we're going to be nicely balanced here on average. And this time he folds, which is, well, not what we wanted this time.
Yeah, really interesting hand, guys. 10K buy-in, Seaver versus JL, so two good players against each other. And Cyrus, you got the killer score on this one, buddy. You win this match. Nice one, man. Let me know how you want your money, ACR or PayPal. All right, guys, exclamation point exclamation point poker coaching, all spelled out, one word, in the chat for you guys to compete. I'm going to leave the guys who were in there from last time in there, so we still have 12 people. If you're just coming in, guys, exclamation point poker coaching in the chat, and you guys compete for $5, either ACR or PayPal, and to compete against someone in here for a quiz. John coming in, what up, buddy? I'll let you guys kind of roll that in. see what you got. Poker Joker getting in there. Lucifer, good morning, buddy. Happy 4th of July. Got a few more people getting in there. While you guys are doing that, I will find the quiz. Which one was the one you wanted? You wanted an Evan Jarvis quiz there, Beats. We were down in like the 503 area. Damn, we've done a lot of these quizzes over the time. Crazy. It was over here. 6-8 off? I think it was that one. Don't let me on the spot. Let's watch today. Hey, no shame in your game, Mickey. No shame in your game. This is the time. This is the time to get out there. Ranger, what's up? How you doing, buddy? D-Rep? Dr. Rep? Thank you for the follow, buddy. Welcome. All right, guys. We're going to draw the 2 winners now for the game. Let's see who it is. It is bang. Uh-oh. It's Ginger. And she is going to be competing against bang. Lucifer Legends of the Toe Army. All right, guys. Let me get this one ready so I can see. This is quiz 499. $4.99. Are you out of your mind? All right, cool. All right, guys, ready to go. I see Ginger, and I know Lucifer's out there because he just went it. So we're going to run this quiz and see how it goes.
Hey, everyone. This is Evan Jarvis for PokerCoaching.com. Today we are reviewing a hand I played in a $5,000 buy-in World Poker Tour event at Niagara Falls. We're in late position with 6-8 of diamonds. It's still pretty early in the tournament, and we have a new player to the table who seems to be definitely on the splashy side, on the weaker side. And it folds to him in the hijack. He opens to double the big blind, 1K, which he'd done in the first 3 hands. He had been there. He's shown that he came to this table to play pots and to go with the smaller sizing to get involved with more hands. You are next to act. What do? Do you fold, call, raise to 2,500, or raise to 3,500?
All right, guys, we're out there with the French splasher. 6-8 suited. What you gonna do? Let me know. Does French mean anything? I don't know. I don't have a read on the French players myself. I just know that this guy's splashy. Oh. Ooh, aggression coming out from everybody. Ranger, Smeeth, Bruce, Ian, Event Horizon. Everybody getting cray-cray. Cyrus calling. Less cray-cray. Bakley 2,500. D-Rep out there with the call. He's going joining Team Cyrus on this one. Looking for Ginger and Lucifer. Oh shit, Mendo getting out there with the crazy French. I took Spanish instead of French. Ransom, what's up, buddy? Poker on your mind, thank you for the follow. Autoglass is calling. Gil's calling. Reno is calling. Here comes the calls. Poker on my mind calling. Ginger's going 2.5, and I'm looking for Lucifer now. Lucifer, you got about 15 seconds. I'm going to redraw for who's going against Ginger.
Booyah!
Gives us race full to a 4-bet, so 3,500. Race 3,500. Weak splash player. Avoid getting squozen. Flush had a raise and call. Lucifer, raise or fold? So I guess 3,500. So 3,500 for Lucifer, and Ginger was at 2.5. Cool. So we'll keep Ginger on this screen. We'll do the 2.5, and I'll do the 3,500 on the other one for Lucifer. For me, I tend to try and let these guys spew myself. I think I'm more in the call camp, although I don't think raising is necessarily a mistake. If I was going to raise, I would definitely go 3,500 and put pressure on Frenchie's stack. Really interesting spot. So Ginger said 2.5, I believe. Let me find it because I'm doing two at the same time. Where'd Lucifer go? Ginger 2.5, yes. And Lucifer went 3,500. So here's Ginger. For the 10, 3,500 was...
With this player opening from
bucks.
just a 50 big blind stack and us having 8 high in our hand, I see folding as being a totally reasonable option. And when I'm in a more conservative gear, I fold here a very high majority of the time. The next option, calling, I don't really like all that much. There's the thought process like, oh, I can call and take a flop in position and try to outplay my opponent. And while it's true being in position will have a decent chance to outplay this player, we are only 50 blinds deep, so we don't have a ton of play. The other thing is our hand just isn't really that strong for flatting. I'd much rather have a hand like King Jack suited or Ace 10 suited to flat call where I can make top pair that's going to be good a lot of the time, as opposed to a hand like 6-8 suited or 5-7 suited where it's extremely rare I'm going to flop top pair, and more often I'm going to be flopping hands like second or third pair which aren't that strong. Also, even the draws that I flop aren't necessarily guaranteed to be good, and calling here invites the other players in, which you may think is good with a hand like 6-8 suited, but it's actually not the best with the weaker suited connectors. The next option is to 3-bet and raise to 2,500, which I quite like because 6-8 suited is a great semi-bluffing hand. This is also a really good situation for us to 3-bet because we have a loose player who is a weaker player where we are in position versus this player and the opportunity to potentially get the pot heads up. So I really like making it 2,500 here to take the lead in the hand, buy the button most likely, and give ourselves the best chance of playing a pot heads up in position against a weaker player with a good semi-bluffing hand. The third option of raising to 3,500 accomplishes a lot of the same things that raising to 2,500 does, with a slightly higher likelihood that our opponent will fold to the 3-bet than if we made it the smaller size. The downside to that is that if he calls and we've made it 3,500 instead of 2,500, we have a lot less room after the flop to use our position and move our opponent off his hand because he'll feel more committed. The pot to stack ratio will be shallower. So for that reason, I prefer the option of raising to 2,500 over raising to 3,500, but I prefer both those options to calling. And given the particular player we're up against and the fact that there's antes in play, I prefer the aggressive actions over the passive action of folding. So I make it 2,500, folds back to the splasher who calls, obviously. And we flop pretty good. We flop basically the joint, 8 high flush with a open-ended straight flush draw redraw, not that we're going to need it. And my opponent checks, but prior to checking, he looks at his cards, which is a tell that he's looking to see if he has a diamond. If he had 2 diamonds, he would probably know that he has a diamond. And usually when the board comes out monotone like this, if someone looks at their cards, they have at best one of them. And they're looking down to see if they have one or not. And when he did that, I kind of challenged him a little bit saying, any diamonds under there? He says, yes, 2 of them. And I'm like, BS, brother, because if you had 2, you wouldn't have even looked. So I'm putting, I'm challenging him a little bit to stir him up a bit and encourage him to potentially take some aggressive action with hands that he may not otherwise do. So he checks and you have all that information. You're dealing with a 3.5 times pot to stack ratio. Action is on you. Should you check, bet small, 2,000, a third of the pot, bet standard, 2/3 of the pot, 4,000, or go all in for 3.5 times the pot?
All right, guys, this is so funny. Agreed. I just actually looked. You said GTO is folding this 40 blinds and 60 blinds deep. It's funny, like I tend to fold these more often than not as well, and then I tend to pick passive route sometimes too, which is a bit of a mistake here for sure. But he's exploiting this player, right? He's splashing around too much, which is totally fine. 7-8 suited is also a folded 40 GTO beats and 50% call, 50% fold at 60 bigs. So there you go. Pete says, so sexy. Looking at his cards, love it. That little needle too, the little live tail needle. Almost like an Assassin's quiz. True. BS, Frenchie. Get that shit out of here. Bingley betting 2K. Mendo betting 4K. Changed my mind. Ian betting 2K. BQ betting 4K. 2K. Ginger betting 4K. So we'll go 4K on this one. Smee 4K. Rep 2K. 4K. 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 And then a bunch of more 2Ks in there. Waiting for Lucifer to come out. Dang, his explanation. I would have bet 2K every time. But association, I would say 4K. Nice. So Ginger and Lucifer both going the same way. I don't need to get it in on the turn there, Kep, is one thing I'm thinking. Like, as long as we can get it in by the river, I think we're okay. I think I'm leading 2K myself. Also, I wanted to look a little stabby. Let's see if Splashy gets crazy. We put a little prod bet out there. I think I would go 2K myself. Just to stick the needle in further. Yeah, poker under mine with me, beats with me. I agree, guys. Both these guys going 4K, though. Let's see what happens.
Even though we flopped extremely strong here with a made flush, I don't really like checking to slow play this hand. There are a lot of hands he could have with a single diamond in them that have decent equity and decent chance to outdraw us. And also, the pot's not that big yet. I really want to build this pot now that I have a made hand, a nutted hand, and I'm not going to be able to achieve that by checking. The other thing is, if he has a hand that could give action, like a pair of kings or a pocket pair between the king and 7, that has a diamond or doesn't have a diamond, when another diamond comes off, it kills our action when we have the best hand, and it makes us the second best hand when we don't. So those are all the reasons that I don't like checking in this spot. The next option, which I like the least, is going all in. I think that we definitely want to put money in the pot, and while going all in could maybe represent that we have the bare ace of diamonds or something, and we're trying to move him off his hand. If he has a hand that's going to call a 3 times the pot shove, he probably will call a smaller bet with that, or maybe even raise with it himself. So I think that going all in is a little bit of overkill and unnecessary, and so I prefer a smaller bet. Between betting 2,000 and 4,000, it's very close. Betting 4,000 builds the pot a bit bigger and almost leaves him with a pot size bet if he calls the flop bet. So it also sets him up to really easily check raise all in. It's kind of a natural sizing there. Whereas the 2K bet doesn't really give him that same room to check raise all in, but it does give him tons of reason to call with just about anything because it's less than the pre-flop C-bet was. So given that I've challenged him a little bit, he's shown he's splashy, he's probably someone who's capable of making moves or marginal plays, I like to go with a small bet here, and I bet 2,000 into a pot of 6,000. The splasher calls, and the turn pairs the 7. Our opponent checks. Actions on you. What should you do? Should you check, bet 4,000, bet 8,000, or go all in for 2 times the pot?
All right, guys, here we go. I agree with all that stuff. The 2K bet was the little needling bet for sure. The score's a little messed up here. Ginger has a 10 and an 8. The 6 and the 8 is Lucifer's score right now. Because I'm doing the quiz on 2 different browsers, it is kind of fucking with each other, but I'm keeping track. Mendo says 6K now. 6K? That's not even on the map, Mendo. 4K for Cyrus. Ian's at 8K. Bickley at 4, 4, and 4. I see you guys. What else you guys doing out there? 4K for flush. For peanut flush. I guess there's a flush on the board to make it less confusing. Ranger going 4K here. 4K for Smeef. 4K, the ability to fold. Turn, says Autoglass God. 4K for Ginger. BQ going ham. He said go all in for twice pop, but... Oh, twice pop because he's got 20K behind. Got it. Hey, what's up, Mad Dog? Happy 4th of July, buddy. 4K lays him too good of a price with the ace of diamonds as cap. 80% is 6K. 80% of 10K is 8K. Mendo. 60%. There we go. 4K Brooklyn Ryan Newspaper says, I think I would do a little more than half, like 5.5, but I think here we go 4K. All right, cool. 4K for Pop Plucker, thank you for the follow. It was 4K for Newspaper, and I believe Ginger said 4K too. I'm going to scroll up and double check. All right, both these guys going 4K here. Right on. I'm going Poland, ripping and dances cap. I don't tend to go twice pot here because I really want... I think when we go twice pot, then we start to push out the Bear King. We start to push out the Bear Ace of Diamonds. I definitely want to size up. In game, I would go 6K too. Mendo as well. 6K puts 12 out there. And he has 13 in the stack. It's like just enough. So I think in this scenario, I'm going 8K. Because I wanted to go 6K. It is that they're lighting fireworks on the beach at high noon. I got to love it. Happy 4th, y'all. Ransom, I'm in Las Vegas, and they've been setting off fireworks all week. They set the mountain on fire because there was a 30 or 40 mile an hour winds, and they were setting off fireworks and set the damn mountain on fire. All right, so these guys going both going 4K. I think I would size up. In game, I would go 6K like Mendo. I think that sets up the price nicely. I think 4K might be a hair small. 18 out there. I guess not. 4K puts 8 more out there, which is 18, and he's got 14 in his stack versus the 8. Maybe I'm changing my mind. Maybe I am going 4K given the two scenarios. I would go 6K in game. All right, let's see.
Here, for the same reasons as the flop, I really don't like checking. Once he's called the flop, he probably has some piece of the board, whether it's a 5 or a 7 or a king or a diamond. He has some piece, and provided we give him the right price, he's not going to go anywhere. We still have a made hand. We still probably have the best hand, but we still have a vulnerable hand. And so I feel it's very important for us to bet to protect our hand. The 4,000 size is quite nice. It gives him room again to check raise all in, and if he check calls this bet, he'll have less than a pot size bet on the river, which is pretty ideal. The 8,000 chip bet builds the pot a bit bigger and will have him feeling even more pot committed. So if he calls the turn, it's pretty much impossible for him to fold on the river. Also, if he has a flush draw, a weak flush draw, he may feel compelled to call this bigger bet, and we're giving him slightly worse odds. That said, I think he's going to fold a bad flush draw some of the time to the bigger bet, but he'll fold none of them to the smaller bet. And even though we're giving him a decent price to draw, we're not giving him the correct odds, and we're also giving him the opportunity to spaz out and make a silly play. Last option of going all in has pretty much the same merits it did on the flop. We're representing a weaker hand than we actually have by going all in. And if he wants to hero call, we get him to hero call for everything instead of, 40% or 20% of his chips. We also ensure that we can get all the money in against a pair or three of a kind before an action killing card comes. So there is some merit to going all in. Between all of them, I felt that the smaller bet, but still significant bet that was going to set up to get stacks in on the river was the best choice. And my opponent check raised to 10,000 with 10,000 behind. Action is on you. What should you do? Should you fold, fearing that your opponent has a bigger flush or a full house? Should you call and take a river card? Should you click it back to 16,000, or should you go all in?
Controversy. Yeah, Mount Charleston's beautiful, man. I went up there for my anniversary a couple years ago. Beautiful. There's cabins up there you can rent, trails, and it's woods, it's all trees. It's like 10 degrees cooler up there. It's awesome, and it's 45 minutes from the strip, so it's super accessible. Really nice. Really nice. Maybe heat stroke by Death Valley. Maybe that's what it was. Good. Jam for Cyrus. Jam sandwich. Jam for Binkley. All in, all in. Ginger's going all in. From Horizon's going on. Blueberry jam, peanut butter sandwich. Everybody going all in. Taurus. Jam for Ranger. Just call, says Lucifer. Let him spew the river. Brad Dad shipping. Ian thinks Evan will call, but doesn't know what he would do. Rep calling. Flush jamming. Arena runner jamming. Mad Dog jamming. Cap totally frustrated now, so I'm calling. Flustered right now, not frustrated. And says, I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't know there was a Mount Charleston in Vegas. There is, yes. Absolutely. Live in Vegas from 84 to 89. It changed so much since. Population has doubled since. Yeah, there's like constant construction here, man. Yeah, I live in Henderson, about 20 minutes from the strip. And everything's under construction. At least it was before everything kind of shut down and we got in this crazy time. Gil all in. Poker on my mind all in. Smeef. We have Charleston's restaurant here in Tulsa. Nice. Nice. Does he really have us beat? Are we scared? Pop Liquor just calling unless it's a nit. This guy's a splashy splasher. Slightly possible human race 5's Poker Joker. I'm still looking for Lucifer. Oh no, just call. Let him spew. I see him. Ginger's all in and Lucifer jam. Sorry, my bad. I see you. I am... I'm kind of on team call for this one. I think when we jam, we lose all his bluffs. I'm not really scared of pocket fives or better flush. Sometimes Doug Polk once said it, right? Sometimes in tournament poker, it's just your time to die. So if it's got something like that, it's just our time to die. Especially for 20 blind stack. I think we just always go broke with the flush. So I think I'm calling too, because I think when we raise, we lose them. They might be taking down a Luxor. They should. It's crappy and old and gross. It's time to revamp that one. Can anybody have stack and fold to a jam? You can't if he's bluffing. Call. Too many outs for him to call, in my opinion. If you jam, you can fold. Agreed. All right, so Lucifer's calling. Ginger's jamming. So we're going to do the call here and the jam here.
At this point in the hand, I think it's pretty clear that our opponent has some piece of the board and he's ready to go with his hand. If he was doing some kind of crazy bluff, we've given him enough room to do so. But once we call another 6,000 into a pot of 20K, there's no way he's going to believe that he can fold us off our hand for another 10,000 on the river. So calling to give the illusion of fold equity, I think, is unnecessary and not going to achieve much. Folding is definitely not what I'm looking to do here. If our opponent has a full house or a bigger flush than us, then I would chalk this up to a cooler. Given the pot to stack ratio on the flop, we're not looking to fold flushes in situations like this. And on the rare occasion he does have us beat, we'll still have lots of chips that we can continue to play with in the tournament. So it's not like we're playing for our tournament life on the bubble or something here. Raising to 16,000, I think, is a strategy that is dominated by going all in. I think it looks slightly stronger than going all in, and then it's 2 bets for him to go all in. He has to say all in, whereas if we just go all in, he can say call, and it's slightly easier psychologically for people to say call than it is for them to say all in, since they're so used to saying call. They do it all the time. So I'm very happy to go with this flopped flush here at this point, and I think the easiest way to get all the money in is to go all in. And so that's what I do. And the splasher calls with 10-7 of spades for a hand that probably should have folded to a 3-bet pre-flop. He's in bad shape against our value hands, and even our semi-bluffs are doing quite well against him with position. And maybe should have called the flop, but I understand hard for him to fold flop once he's made a pair after calling a 3-bet, and this is why we don't want to call 3-bets out of position. Once he turned trips, it's completely correct for him to put all the money in. I think that that part of the hand was played fine, although his small bet is definitely worse than just going all in, because if I happen to have, you know, ace 5 with the ace of diamonds, I may just call the turn and get to fold on the river, saving 10,000 chips. Whereas if he goes all in, I'll feel compelled to call off, and he's going to get more value. So unfortunately for me, my opponent made a full house on the river with the king pairing, but it was fine. I was very happy with how I played the hand, and a couple orbits later, I got all my chips back from this player. And that's what usually happens when you keep your cool, keep your composure, and continue to play well and play better strategies than your opponents.
Interesting spot, guys. Ginger, you got it. You got it. Got it. Hit me up. Let me know how you want your money. Congratulations. Congratulations. Interesting. Cool. I was going to make a comment, but I don't think we have to. Cool. All right, guys. Next quiz. Evan told us with this quiz. Preview said it was off suit. It did, didn't he? It did, didn't he? He tricked us. He tricked us. You're right. Sixes. I got to find sixes. All right, we'll do sixes. While we're doing that, guys, exclamation point poker coaching in the chat. So you could be one of the next 2 people competing. Who's that? What coach is this? I'm not sure who that is. Usually you can hover over and it'll tell you. Weird. Anyways. There's Evan. There's Faraz. There's JL. While you guys are waiting, exclamation point poker coaching in the chat so you can compete. JL's got a shitload of quizzes. We're going to scroll super fast. Don't get dizzy. There's Lexi. There's Matt, who's going to have a shitload of quizzes. Tristan. Oh, 6 is on the next page. What the hell? What are we doing? $5. $5, either ACR or PayPal. I will ship it to you whichever way works for you. No. Where are you, sixes? Where are you, sixes? JL. We're too far back, I think. Oh, no, it's mixed because we have coach. Play coach. God damn, JL, you've done a lot of quizzes. Holy shit. 7. There's Evan. And Elvin Faraz. There's Assassinato. Who told us to do 6's quiz? I wish I knew what number it was. I have no idea. Page 9. Assassinato. Page 10. You know what? When they revamp the site, I don't see 6's quizzes on here. They might still be putting them back. We might be fucked on that, man. Sorry about that. I tried. Oh, wait. Here it is right here. Somehow he just popped up at the top. We took this one, but it's so long ago that I'm down to take it again. So let's do that. Because this was, I don't even know what this one's about. All right, so let me scroll up. Do love that site. Great site. Great fucking site. !PC in the chat. You can get a link to sign up to Jonathan Little's coaching site, which is this one. You saw a bunch of the coaches on here. You get a bunch of free quizzes and homeworks and whatnot, and blinds and blind charts and content from me, content from 6's, content from Tristan Wade and Lexi Gavin, Matt Affleck. Great content out there, guys. And a lot of it's free. Are you missing? Oh, I'm missing it between Affleck and Wade, maybe. I think I found one of them. All right. What's up, D-Chip? Happy 4th of July. All right, let's draw winners. Let's see. We got Event Horizon competing against Gil. Gil wins every week. Every week he's in here, crushing it. And I believe he's 1-1. All right, 588 is what I need to get in the quizzes here. Yeah, one thing I really like about the quizzes, Mike, is that 588 is that they do a real good job. There it is. Of making it scalable to the masses, and you feel like you're being coached by these coaches kind of one-on-one, and it's not just watching a training video, which can get old and dull and hard to kind of pick up all the nuance, and this seems way more interactive. And they made it like in a game where you get these points, like we saw, and you can use those points to unlock other content, other coaches quizzes, other homeworks. You can buy additional courses with that. So basically they made it like video gamey where you compete to get better scores and get better, and then use those points to get more content so that you can get better and get better scores to get more content to get better scores and get more content, get better scores, and on it goes. So pretty good stuff there. All right, Gil, let me know you are out there and ready. And Event Horizon, I'm pretty sure you are out there as well. Give me some sort of sign, and then I will start this quiz. Event Horizon ready. I'm assuming Gil's ready because he's always ready. He was born ready. We'll watch Event Horizon on this one. We'll do Gil off screen. Let's play. Mike Cash, thank you for the host.
How's it going, everyone? This is Shondell, aka Crazy Sixes, just sharing a hand that I played in the Ignition $200, $20K, $100 knockouts. I believe this was one of their SM Super Millions Poker Open events. So yeah, let's take a look. Have Ace King here on the button. You know, we're into the end. He's 3-6 now. Have a read. Been playing with the big blind since the beginning of the tournament. He seems pretty aggressive. So you know, if he does ever 3-bet us here, we're happy to get it in. Even 40 bigs deep. But yeah, it gets to us. Easy decision. We're all opening here. And yeah, big blind calls. We see a 10-7-5 flop here with Ace King versus an aggressive opponent. Yeah, what do you guys like here? Do you like a check, a bet to 1,000, bet to 2,000, or do you like potting it? You know, going 3,200 here.
This is going to be a really interesting quiz from a sixes perspective, just because sixes is my man. We study together multiple days a week, and this is old, and so I know some of the things he used to do, and versus some of the things he's doing today. So it'll be really interesting to see what he does in this quiz versus what he's done today when he's evolved, because it's been like a year since he made this quiz. So pretty interesting. Meta betting 1K, Ranger betting 1K, Event Rising betting 2K. He's going to be the man on the screen here. Range betting 1,000 for everybody. And we're still waiting for McGill. Mike going 1K. Peanut going 1K. Gil going 1K. Awesome. So we got Event going 2K on this one, and then Gil going 1K off screen. For me, I am going to be going check on this board. This is a coordinated board that smacks the big blind range, and we don't have a spade. And I don't want to get check raised, and I don't want to get lost on turn. So I am checking a board like this against big blind FM myself. I'm not sure what sixes are going to do here. In the old days, sixes would be betting 1K here like 1,000% of the time. Today, I think he's probably checking. So it'll be interesting to see. Gil was at 1K, and it was 2.5, I believe, for Event Horizon. 2K. Cool. 2K for Event Horizon and 1K for Gil.
Okay, so what
Ooh,
are we
he likes
doing
to
here?
check, my man. Nice one.
1,000, 2,000, or pot. Personally, I think versus an opponent who's capable of check raising, going to continue light, and I don't think really ever folds here. I'm going to use this as a check. Not necessarily to just give up to turn bets, but we can just check. We have the best hand here a lot. Ace high is pretty strong, and I really don't want to just get check raised here a lot. We can pick up an ace or a king on the turn, and yeah, we do just check back, and we see just a blank turn card. Here are the two, and now villain starts betting. Looks like he just goes half pot. What's your line here? Are you going to raise 4K plus as a bluff? 2.5, 3x. Want to just fold here because you don't want to face another bet on the river, or do you just like calling here, thinking ace high could be good? What do you like?
He did check. I'm so surprised he checked. I thought he was going to see bet for sure because this is old. Fist bump sixes. Nice fucking check, my man. I like it. All right. Since he's aggro, I can see check because you get check raise and you're fucked. Absolutely, Cyrus. Fold for Bruce, fold for Ian, fold for my cash. All in for Auto Glass. Fold for Ranger. Pinkley going call. Show going call. Gil going call. Call says you interrupt. Phone a friend says Booth. I like it. All right, so both Gil and Event Horizon are calling here. Cool. 1K was a 5. 5 for 1K. Gil's ahead right now. For me, I'm not really sure what six is going to do in this quiz. I have some feelings. I think I actually just fold this one myself. Might be a little nitty, but I have nowhere to go, and I do think we're facing a river bet. I don't know who this guy is. It's Ignition, so he's anonymous, but if this guy was me and I checked flop, I would go bet. For sure. I tend to knit it up and fold here. I'm not sure what six is going to do. Oh, guys, I'm not really jamming. Ace high might be the best hand. It might, but the problem is realizing on the river after we check flop. Steaming Iron, thank you for the follow. Might fold as well. Not worried about getting checkers on the flop because if I structure my ranges correctly, there will be other times I can easily continue. Sure. I just think on this board, it smacks the big blind range, and your C-bet's not going to work a lot. And so what's the plan on the 2 turn there, Cap? Are you barreling the 2?
We don't die.
Or
We
you bet checking?
multiply.
If you're barreling the 2, you might be able to get a 7 to fold. I don't know how sticky this guy is, but I think he said he was pretty aggressive. I don't know if that means he's sticky. Probably. And then we're stuck to the river. Are we going to triple? It gets just get weird, right? We could barrel easily Jack, Queen, Ace, or King, obviously, on the turn. Those are easy cards. I would barrel a spade as well if I bet. It's a decent amount of cards. Board's a lot of big blind range. I agree. We have sets of 10, set of jacks. Going to barrel again to be called. Sure. Set of 10s and jacks plus. Sure. Why do we keep hearing booyah in the background? That's because I keep getting follows. It's the booyah follow, Mendo. Booyah. Welcome, Steaming Iron. Boo fucking yah. All right, I would fold. I'm not sure what 6 them do. I got a feeling he's going to call here because we're under repped. I'm not sure. Let's click call and find out.
All right, so are we raising, calling, or folding? I think our hand is so under repped here that, yeah, we do just want to call. Aggressive opponents are going to feel compelled to turn some of their straight draws now into bluffs. There's a lot of straight draws, Jack 8, 6-9, 6-8, 3-4 suited. So there's a ton of straight draws here. Dip miss even some flush draws that he may think he can just bet now and bet rivers. It blanked. So yeah, I think we do just call. I don't see a purpose in raising and turning our hand into a bluff on the turn. Although I think it may deter some of his draw. We just get better to continue and all the worse to fold. And I think our hand has a lot of value. Now the river does pair the board deuce and makes a pretty big sizing here. Goes like 4K into 6,000 here when the 2 pairs. Certainly can have some deuce X in his range or whatnot. What do we like here? Do we like a call, fold, or do we just raise now to make him fold some of the weakest parts, some of the weakest pairs, maybe just fold 5X, 7X, or something like that? What do you like?
What do we like? What do we like? Pop poker folding, my cash folding, fold, and look at the dealer mean. Good hero call. John thinking about it. Everyone else folding so far. No, I fold like a little baby. Fold for dear rep. Range is out of position. Size seems bluffy. I'm going to raise. Brick turn, brick river. We have best hand a lot. He has a 10 or a 7. Otherwise, we win. Going down with the chip. Hero. Fuck it. Looking for Gil and Event Horizon. Call. All draws missed. We don't block any of the draws. Gil's calling. Final answer officially in. I think we're still waiting for event. Here, I'm scrolling up to make sure. Yes. Fold. All right, cool. So Gil's gonna call and fold. I would have folded a turn. However, I do kind of agree that in this scenario, this guy is splashy. All the draws missed, and it's kind of hard for him to hit this board. So I think as played, I think we probably have to hero call it. Otherwise, we should just full turn, because if we call turn, I said it before, like if you check to me, I'm always betting turn, betting river. And so we're just going to we're burning those chips on the turn when we call. So I think we have to call here if we call the turn, which is kind of why I would fold on the turn myself. So Cyrus is calling and Event Horizon is folding. So this is the fold. Oh, wait, we got to do call on this one first so it doesn't screw us up. And this is the fold.
Call, fold, or raise.
Calling 10 points.
Well, I think it's got to be a call here when we have an aggressive opponent. All kind of draws miss. Flush draws, we don't block any of the flush draws you may have. 6-9, 6-8, Jack-9, Jack-8, 3-4. So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward call. I think we just use Ace-King as a bluff catcher here. This hand, there's just going to be enough that we beat, and he does have the gut shot. So yeah, I think it's a hand where, we just use Ace-King as a bluff catcher. Even on wet boards, you may feel, compelled to bet to protect your ace high in some cases, but it's just very good for our range, and our opponent really doesn't give up in this spot a lot. So yeah, it was a cool tournament. I think I just ended up running deep in this and finding a cash, a couple of knockouts. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this hand with me, going through it, and I look forward to doing this again. Thank you.
There we go. Gil, my man, getting it through again. I'm assuming you went the money at the same time as last time. You're 2-1, man. Looking pretty good. That ignition player is crazy. I mean, I wouldn't call the raise. Well, it was a min raise pre, right? It's close, actually. I actually like the big blinds play, if I'm honest. I think it's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. This deep and everything else. For sure. I don't remember what the river size was, but I mean, maybe that was the problem. Let me see real quick. It was 4,200 into 6,500. It's okay. You could size up slightly more, but it's actually not that bad. I think it's pretty decent. Myself. Can we do a toe quiz? Sure. Let me try and find one. While we're doing that, guys, exclamation point poker coaching in the chat. For sure, Cap. I agree 100%. Raise. I want to say that. If we think he's bluffy, then no real reason to raise, right? We beat all his bluffs, which is why that call is better 10 points than the raise there. Ranger. Exclamation point pro coaching in the chat. If you want to compete for $5, either ACR or PayPal. If you win PayPal, send me your PayPal email address, and I will get it out to you. If you win ACR, send me your ACR screen name, and I will get it out to you. And let these stroll in for a little bit. I think we got time for one more before we go and spend some time with our families, get ready for crushing on Sunday, guys. I will be back tomorrow playing all the big stuff. I don't think I'm playing the bracelet event tomorrow, if I remember correctly. Because I do live in Las Vegas. It is the 5th tomorrow. It's a 1K freeze out, so I'm probably not going to play that one. But I will be playing all the online championships, all the big stuff everywhere. Always make sure you tune in that. Make sure you click the follow button, a little heart-shaped icon right about there on your screen. If you're enjoying yourself. And if you are new to the stream, we record these and put them on the YouTube channel. Record everyone we've ever done. The ones by myself, the ones with Crazy Sixes, which is most of the time, and the one with our guest coaches, which is a bunch of the time. So you can check out all of those on the YouTube channel. All right, let's draw the last two winners of the day. It's going to be D-Rep D-Rep battling out against Arena Runner. All right, guys. Let me know which one you want. You want A6 suited in the $11 12K, or you want 910 off in the 1657.5K? Which one should we look at? We're looking at these two quizzes right here. Which one looks better? And they both should be. I tried to do them in the buy-in ranges that most of you guys are going to be doing it. Big congrats, Poker Guru. Yep. ACR Pro won the bracelet last night. A6 suited. I see a couple A6 suited. It's all right. Cool. Let's see, because I made this a while back too. Let's see if I agree with myself. I probably do. I hope I ace my own quiz. We had Matt Affleck on here a while back, and he did not ace his own quiz, which was awesome. We've had a lot of guests. Jesse Sylvia, second in the main event, 2012, I think. We had Greg Raymer, we had Matt, we had Evan Jarvis, and the only person who's ever gotten 100% swishes was Jesse James. That guy's a savage. How did I get the screen name? So I had money on a site, and I had trouble getting money off the site, and I had a different screen name that I was using for years before that, and I was like, well, I guess I lost this money, so I went to find a place to play, and I didn't realize the place I picked was a different skin on the same network. And so when I tried to pick my old screen name, it was taken, and my wife asked me, what's the silliest name you could think of, and I just kind of blurted out GodsBigToe, and then it just became a thing, and I made some friends and won a little bit, and here I am, and now it could never be anything else. I'm just Toe. 818 is my quiz. Run up to Greg Merson. Yep, that's why his ACR screen name is FU Greg Merson. If you ever see the FU Greg Merson screen name, that is Jesse. Way better than Snarfblat. Snarfblat's funny too. In my house, the Snarfblat is like whenever you like burp, hiccup, and sneeze all at the same time, make some weird noise. That's Snarfblatting in my house, which is why I picked that name. What? Thank you for the resub, my man, Mr. Mendo Bruce. All right, guys, let's do this one. D-Rep and Arena Runner. Let's roll.
Hey guys, this is an interesting hand I played in an $11 12K guarantee. Pretty common buy-in / guarantee for all of you low-stake players out there. You're sitting here with 8-6 of clubs in the big blind and face a raise from relatively aggressive regular under the gun and a call in the low jack from another loose aggressive regular. And it folds around to us. We have a decision to make. Do we fold? Find a better spot? Do you think we have a good enough hand to call here and try and see a flop? Should we try and take initiative in this hand and raise to 10,500? Or do you think this is a great squeeze spot and are we just jamming it in?
All right, guys, what's the play? Mike Cash, Cyrus, Mike, Pop Plucker, all calling. Bruce is 3-betting. What's the size there, Bruce? Put it here so we can see it. 10K. Cool. Call for Flush, call for Ginger, call for Smeef, call for Jesse. Pete says, like 10.5 steal, but in game I usually call. Fred Horizons call it. Call for D-Rap. There's our first player. We're looking for Arena Runner. John Folding. Ian calling. Arena Runner, you got about 15 seconds before I draw. Gil's calling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, All right, fuck it. We're drawing another one. So it's D-Rep, not D-Trip, against. All right, Poker Joker, you're up, buddy. Did I see you up here already? You out there? Didn't see you come into the chat this time. There he is, call. Yeah, for me too, I'm calling. I would 3-bet this if it was an open from a later position. And it folded me. I would actually flat ace-5 suited. It's kind of funny. And then raise ace-6 suited. Ace-6 suited, the worst suited ace in the deck. Ace-7 suited, the next worst ace suited, or suited ace in the deck. So I would definitely raise this. Here with the under the gun open and the call for a blind, less than a blind and a half, I'm just going to flick it in and go nut hunting for sure. I don't think we can fold, John. I think our hand's just too strong, and we're just getting an amazing price to try and flop 2 pair trips or a flush. So I wouldn't 3-bet here, but I would 3-bet on the button against, let's say if the loose aggressive just opened, I would 3-bet ace-6 suited before I flatted it. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, shit. Poker Joker was call, and they're both call. Cool, let's figure it out.
I think that calling here is our best option. Raising here is interesting, but I think that 1, it bloats the pot, 2, we're out of position. I think it's get really awkward post. There's multi-way. We could just call for basically 1 blind, see a flop, and play well post-flop. So yeah, I think calling is definitely the best option. Ace-6 suited is one of those suited aces that I tend to raise more often than not, but I think this exact scenario, it works better as a call. And so that's what we do. And we do pick up second pair with 2 hearts. Always going to check to the aggressors. So we do. Original raiser checks. And the guy in the backseat bets 4,400 half pot. Next decision to make. Do we just give up here? Is it a call? Is it a good time to raise here and figure out where we're at to 10,500? Or if we're going to raise to 10,500, we might as well go all in and really put pressure on these guys.
Decision point. What are we doing? Bruce just calling. P1 says Mike. Call for Ginger. Call for Bingley. Call for Uncle Ian. Call D-Rep calling. Smeef calling. With the backdoor. With little backdoor equity giving up, says Cap. John can't fold. Mike calling. Cyrus is folding. Call. Call and be annoyed. Call, goddammit. Looking for Poker Joker. Peanut flush folding. Unread could raise. I have some thoughts. I'm just waiting for Poker Joker before I give him. There he is, call. All right, so both people calling. Yeah, I think because of stack sizes, I would call here. I think we can't give up. We have a pair. It's hard to make a pair and hold them. And the cool thing about this is that we have a bet coming from a known loose aggressive player in the back seat, right? So we have the best hand here, a decent amount. Raise would be interesting, again, but our stack size is very strange, and when we get called, it gets really weird on turns. I'm less worried about the guy under the gun because the under the gun guy had an overpair or a 10, then they would be betting 100% of the time on this flop, and they didn't, so they always missed. So I'm not really even concerned about the under the gun guy anymore because he just never checked the flop. There's no way. So now it's just us against this aggressive guy who's betting in the back seat to 2 checks. So I think I am calling here for sure. Both of our contestants called. Let's see what happens. Calling here definitely, I think, is our best option. Raising the 10,500 is slightly interesting. I mean, we do kind of find out where we're at. We're just bloating the pot in a spot where I think most of the time, better is always calling and worse is always folding. So calling seems like our best option to me. And that is, in fact, what I do. I don't think we can fold here.
JJ.
With a pair, it's hard to make a pair.
Thank you for following.
So we have to at least see one more card. Turn, not a great card. Always checking again as things get a little wetter and a little worse. And our opponent checks. River now brings 6. And we have a decision to make. Do we check back with the intention of calling? Do we bet 5,800, about a third pot? Should we bet 7,700? Or are we bombing this pot with 13,000? Jesse, I will answer that. I want to get to our contestants before I give any spoilers, but I will definitely answer that, buddy. 7.7 for Mendo. 5,800 cap. Check call for Mike. Kept betting 5,800. Check raise for BQ, BBBQ. Just says, Donk, I bet you can get a 10 to fold for sure. Realize we have trips. We beat a 10. 5,800 for Event Horizon. 7.7 for Pot Plucker. This is where Toe gets value. Question mark. Poker Joker at 5,800. So now we're waiting for D-Rap. Bet the nuts. I think it's just nuts, Menda. Check calls to Smeep. 70s for Gil. Check for Con Bankley. Hey, what's up, Dennis? Good to see you, man. Make sure you check out Dennis streaming lately. Playing the poker. Yeah, 6 is likely good. Jesse. Likely good. 5,800, he says. 7.7 for D-Rep. And now I forgot what the other guy had. Hang on, I gotta scroll up. 5,800 versus 7.7. Cool. I can bet you that I'm gonna bomb the shit out of this and probably go. I tend to go super big on this spot. I think I guessed about what I would do here. I'd probably go 13. I think we check raise most of our flushes, right? And so this guy is loose aggressive, and I feel like he's got a 10, a jack, or nothing. I don't think he's ever got a flush. I think loose aggressive guys always bet their flush. Someone mentioned, I think it was Ranger, that said, isn't it a little sticky with a loose aggressive out of position? I think the way to combat those guys is you just have to kind of grit your teeth and call down a little lighter because they're going to be a little looser. And so I think that's the way to kind of exploit those guys. I think I would size up. I'm definitely going to size up above 5,800 because a 10 is going to call 7,700 for sure. A jack always going to call 7,700. I think I have 32K. If I were playing this today, I'll tell you what I would bet. I'd bet 10-5. Which I actually kind of like better today. I bet you I go big. I bet you I go 13. But today I think I would go 10-5. I'd go slightly smaller. All right. So let's see here. 13 looks like I have it. I just think, when he checks turn and that 6 pairs, oddly as a bluff, I would go fucking crazy because I don't think he ever checks the turn with a heart. And I think he's betting in the back seat. So if I had like some sort of missed draw, I don't know, 4-5 or something, then I would go close to pot. Maybe even over if I could to get those to fold. Check raise is bad because the problem with check raise is that he didn't bet the turn. So when he doesn't bet the turn, he's almost never betting the river. He's always going to check back his 10 and maybe the jack bets. Maybe. But when we call the flop, the heart and the 6 gets there. Hard for them to bet. They probably check back the jack too if they're any sort of thinking player. So check raise definitely out. Definitely out. All right. So it was 7.7. Now I got to look up again. God damn it. Those are doing this the hard way today. It was 7.7 for D-Rep. And it was 5.8 for Poker Joker. And this one will be Poker Joker. So 5.8 for him and 7.7 for D-Rep.
When I find myself in these situations, I ask myself...
Close one.
When I bet here...
7.7 was 10 points. I like that I didn't go 13 because of my
what am I
stack size was
trying to get
32.
called for? I'm always betting here. I think when they check the turn, they would bet all their flush draws for value. So I'm kind of going to negate the flush draw a bit. Be really weird if we bet here and got
Check's
raised.
turn to
That
bet
would
river makes his
definitely have
bluffs
some alarm
cheaper.
bells there.
They never work.
But when they check by the turn, I think they have a lot of 10x and then some jack x that now they feel like they have showdown value and are checking the turn with. Maybe a hand like pocket 8s or pocket 9s as well. Pocket 7s is definitely an option in there. So I want to try and get value from those hands. And I think that if we go 13,000, it's just too much. We push out the 10. We push out the 7s, the 8s, the 9s. So I think that's too much. 5,800 is okay. About a third pot. But I do think we could eke a little bit more value from all of those hands. So I like to bet 7,700 here. And we do get called. And our villain shows down the Jack 9 of spades. And we bring the chips our way.
There we go. So I think Jack 9 should check back river. Also, he checked turn to make his whips. That never works, right? If he goes check turn, bet river, all our 6s call, all our 10x call, all our Jack X call, the hearts call. So the only thing that check bet gets done here is folding air, folding hands that just completely whiff. So I don't think that bet makes a lot of sense. How do I bluff? How do you balance bluffs to premium? Do we go smaller with more bluffs or bigger? I would go bigger with bluffs to try and get this weak-ass jack to fold. It was kind of like JL said in the first quiz that we did. Tend to go a little bigger with the bluffs, especially at the $11 level where these guys aren't paying enough attention and you could just go full exploitive and you don't have to worry about them getting reads on you so much, especially in this ACR tournament that's got 4,000 runners. You're never really going to see this guy again too much. He's just not going to be crazy competent or anything, this smaller buy-in. So I would just go exploitive and I wouldn't be that balanced, to be honest with you. If I won it to the other guy, please appreciate the knowledge. You did. It was 10-10-7 versus 10-10-10. Poker Joker. So super good. 7, pretty good score though. Not necessarily a mistake. I just think, like I said, with 5,800, we could definitely get called by a 10 or a jack for slightly more. I actually think today I would go that 10-5 because I think the jack and the 10 are still calling for that price as well. So there you go. There you go. Our winner is D-Rep. Congratulations. He got the swish. Here it is. You can see it. Hit me up, D-Rep. Send me a message. Let me know if you want ACR or PayPal. If you want PayPal, give me your PayPal email address. If you want ACR, send me your ACR screen name, and I will get that money out today. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me on 4th of July. I appreciate you as always. All you savages trying to get better during the holiday. No rest for the wicked. I love it. I love it. I love it. Make sure you click the follow button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're playing all the high-end buy-in, all the good stuff. All that stuff happening tomorrow. So make sure you tune in as well. Monday is my home game on America's Card Room. So we're playing on Monday as well, where you get a chance to get your name on the Champions Cup and play for a real-life trophy in the Tournament of Champions if you happen to ship it. So that is super fun as well, plus the bounty on me, and you get to hang out with the Toe Army. Make sure you do that. Like I said before, this is the Poker Coaching website, !PC in the chat, and you will get a link to sign up for PokerCoach.com where you can get 20 free quizzes, homework assignments, big blind charts up to 100 blinds or more. And if you sign up for premium, like I said, there's over 900 quizzes. There's staking opportunities. There's homeworks. There's webinars. There's specific courses for cash game versus tournaments in certain areas. They're fantastic. Make sure you check it out. At least get the free stuff. And if you go for premium, just even the better. Record all these sessions as always and put them on the YouTube channel. So you can find that by going to !YouTube. I'm about to put all the links. PC, bang, PC, bang, YouTube, in the chat for you. You can check out everyone we've ever done in the past. We'll be back next weekend again with sixes. Have a good, safe holiday. I'm going to throw the host over to that bread, though. I don't think we have ever really given him a host. So we're going to show him some love. And D-Rap, make sure you give me your information. I don't see you out here. So make sure you send it to me so I can get you your shit. And that's it. I will talk to you later, guys. Peace.
Nice. GodsBigToe.